Alright, finally getting off my lazy bum and doing a video. It's been forever. Just had a lot of things going on besides bike stuff. Hunting season, of course. You can see there, it's that time of year, right there. Bow and arrow, archery. So, that takes up some time. So today, I'm going to do kind of an up-to-date current mod list for the 2023 CRF300L. Now, before I start and people start, when they watch the video, links, where'd you get the stuff, 99% of this stuff is all from Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com. And no, I don't get anything from Rocky Mountain as far as a discount. I buy the stuff. I should get a discount because my bike builds with their products are better than the bike builds that they do on their own website to try to sell their own stuff. But anyhow, that's beside the point. So, I'll start from the front. I'm going to try to remember everything and like work my way back. And there still are a few things I want to do to it and need to do yet, but this will kind of show you where I am at with this. Okay, so start with front tire. Front tire is a DOT legal AMS Byte MX front tire. Got a Honda decal there. That's just made from a local sign shop. Stuck it on. Racetech spring is installed in the front fork. I do have videos on that. Oh, front fender. Front fender is off of a 2022 CRF250F trail bike. In my opinion, it looks much better than stock. When I put this one on, I did have to put a couple washers. I'm sure people will ask. You can see there's an extra washer. Maybe you can see there's the bushing top there, then an extra 16th inch washer on the back. That just keeps it from hitting your radiator guards in your frame and fits up in there real nice. Okay. Turn signals, short stock, smaller. These are not LED, so they're simple to put. You just clip your wires, plug them in, and you're good to go. They have a little bulb in them. You don't got to get any ballast or relays or anything like that. They are Bike Master, and I believe I got those at denniskirk.com. Okay, stock triple trees, blah, blah, blah. Here we have a little USB port. This is from Tusk right here. I believe it was maybe $12, possibly $15, something in that area. You can look. Now, this does have a little waterproof cap, but the thing is with this one, it has this little, it's going to be hard to see probably, little canister here, and there is an on-off switch on this, so it is not always on. And how waterproof this is, I'm not sure. I'm sure the first time I get it soaked good and wet, it's probably going to blow it out. But it actually works nice because it's just one little USB port sticking here and not the big 12-volt plug thing. Enduro Engineering. Hand guards, you can kind of see how they look into the bar. That's how they go around try to get a good shot here of how the cable routes over them. They dip down the brace there, really nice. Same with over here. The brake side dips down and everything goes over it. You got the two screws that put your mat guard on in the front. Will they clear the balls? This one will clear the balls. I don't know if I have. This one has the ball off of it here. I think it was rattling right here on the inside of this, so I cut it off. So you might have to cut one of your balls off. Double take mirror. Of course, the ram mount. That goes right into your clutch perch right there. The little ball screws in. And of course, I have two more ram mounts for various items that I carry on the bike. Heated grips. This is the Tusk heated grip kit. So you get the separate heating element and you can put whatever type of grip you want over top of it. And I had to make this little plate right here with the high and low switch on it right there. And there's my wife back from getting groceries, so I have to go help her out to be a nice guy, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. I was a good little boy. Helped unload the groceries. Okay. Handlebars. Tusk Chub Fat Bars KTM Bend. Rocks risers 2-inch. I think that will basically cover everything from the steering stem out as far as mods. And of course here we have a big one, the Acerbis oversized tank. Sure, some people were hammering me on this, but I'm going to say 3.6 gallon, 3.5. Like I said, my brain's been on kind of bike hiatus for a month. That's working good, no leaks, you know, underneath from installing the fuel pump. I think that tank gives you roughly about, probably full range of about 250 miles. I'm gonna say somewhere in that area. Let's come down this way. Okay, Tusk skid plate. Very good skid plate, very heavy, very thick. That is probably 3/16 of an inch thick. Very nice. Still running factory shift lever. I still run these because they're steel and they can bend. You can bend these some bitches the whole way back on themselves and still bend it back if you're in the middle of nowhere. Whereas if you bend an aluminum, it's either going to break when it goes so far, or if you go to bend it back to try to ride home, it's going to snap off. So these are actually pretty awesome, as long as they're, you know, long enough for your boot. You can see up in here the little tiny canister, evap canister type deal is out of there. I took that out of there when I first brought it home. There is no ECU on this bike, no fuel programmer, nothing like that. Oh, if you did see over here, some of you may have picked up on it. I do have the cover off of here. I still have the metal bar, the actual case guard on there, but I just take these off because if you ride in the mud, you get a bunch of garbage collect up in there and it just rubs on your chain the whole time you're riding, and you know, getting in between, putting all the dirt on your sprocket, and it grinds your stuff down. So factory foot pegs still. These are actually decently wide. The IMS are probably a 1/4 inch wider if you get them, so I may put a set of those on here sometime down the road. But right now I do a lot of stand-up riding, and these haven't been bothering me at all as far as my riding. Got a little battery tender hooked up there, if you can see it, where you can just plug the battery tender in right to there. It's already connected to the battery. A little tip on your side panels. These side panels, you take this bolt out, and then you would have to take the seat off. There's a little clip, little black clip down in here. I don't even use that clip anymore. I just left it out. The panel stays there because there's a little tongue that goes in a groove here, a little tab. So when you take this, let this clip out, you can just pull this bolt out and actually pull both side panels off without even taking your seat off real quickly. It makes it pretty nice. Oh, of course here, the big gargantuan tool kit, all gone, removed off of there. I won't use it, so I take it off. You can see, I do, if you see, this is also a Race Tech spring for my weight from Rocky Mountain. And I do have a video on all this and even riding it and testing it, but it works well for me. It's just that you can't adjust the rebound, so you get a real harsh rebounding effect if you take this thing in the air or like off of something where the tire goes, whoom, it just whaps back. Other than that, this actually performs really well. I mean, I don't mind it. Will I maybe put a full shock on here in the future if I keep the bike anytime long term? I probably will, but this actually does pretty good for me. That and the Race Tech front have performed well for me, and I've ridden it a lot off-road since I've done the front spring and that. I mean, a lot of guys get carried away. Like, they over-evaluate, like, this suspension and just say that it sucks and they can't ride, and this is so much better. If you know how to ride the bike and know what you're doing and avoid a lot of the hard hits, this suspension here is perfectly fine. Even the stock suspension is fine if you're not blasting through the woods like GNCC style. If you're a trail rider and just going off-road to enjoy the outdoors and putting around, even the stock suspension will work if you're not hauling a lot of luggage. But anyhow, enough of that. Gearing, still stock. This is the best stock gearing of any bike I have ever owned. Every bike I have ever bought, off-road, dual sport, I have always changed the gearing to ride off-road. This bike, I kept it stock. I did try a 13 on the front, but I went right back to the stock gearing. This stock gearing is freaking awesome on this bike. I mean, you got excellent low end for single track and super tight stuff, but yet you can still go highway speed, so it's awesome. And from putting the Race Tech suspension on here, I had to lengthen my kickstand. You can see my little badass quick kickstand addition there. A couple lengths of bike chain, welded 2 on. That is actually about an inch, probably a total of 1.5 inches right there that I had to add. Of course, I could have cut this and added the piece in or bought an extended kickstand, but this took me all of 5 minutes and didn't cost me anything other than the welder wire and a little bit of welding gas. So that chain guard off. I never run chain guards. Sometimes you got to throw them back on to get them inspected. But I don't use the chain guards just for the same reason of riding off-road. You get sticks up in there, they get jammed up in and can screw you all up. Oh, rear tire. This is a Geomax, Dunlop Geomax Enduro EN91. And this tire has, I'm going to see what the mileage is on the bike so I can kind of let you know. I have 472 miles on here, and this is probably about half tread. So this is probably going to be about a 1,000 mile tire if you're going to run it completely bald. I will probably run this for about another 200 miles, 250 maybe, and probably throw another one on. So if you do the EN90, by the way, this thing is awesome off-road. It's right there with the TrackMaster, but I think it's a little bit harder than the TrackMaster, but you're only going to get 1,000 miles out of it, like I said. Probably less if you're running on the road a lot more. Okay, let's go up here. Tusk, rear rack, simple installation, couple bushings, some new bolts, goes right on. The one thing I don't like about this rack is you almost need to put something in here like your factory has with the studs that come out, because there's nothing really to hook a bungee. I mean, you can hook it on here, but if you have something big on the rack, you can hook under here, but then your bungees want to slide. So it kind of sucks that way. Rear turn signals, these are Tusk. Now these are LED. So I have these LED with the combination standard turn signals on the front. So it does flash a little bit faster than normal. I'll actually, let me show you here. You can see the flash rate there. And these are the Bike Mastered standard incandescent bulb, and these are the Tusk LEDs right there. And they're just mounted in through the standard socket where the original comes out. And here we have, that's my own little tail tidy. I think I may have a video on this, I'm not sure, but I just took a bunch of the factory stuff off, cleaned this up. This is even the factory license plate light right here that I just re-bolted down through here. And of course, that cleaned it up. without buying anything. Of course, guys will say, yeah, but you ruined the stock stuff on the bike, and now what if somebody buys it? Every time I sell a bike, I give the people the stock stuff, and they look at me like I'm an idiot because I'm giving them 3 boxes of stock stuff to take with them. And they're like, what the hell am I going to do with that? So that's not even a big deal. And of course, now here's the exhaust. This is stock. I cut the heat shield and the heat shield brackets all off and then repainted it with some high heat paint. And guys are like, well, why would you do that? It's so stupid, because then if you want to put a bag over it, it's going to melt it. Well, listen, I ain't never putting a bag over it, so it don't matter, because I don't haul big bag luggage on it. So that ain't going to matter. And if it does, I'll buy a little heat shield and stick on there, because you can buy aftermarket ones and they're like $20 and you can put them on. But like, look, because my bike looks so much better than yours with that off of there. So that's why. I'm not going to haul any luggage on this. If I ever do, I'll probably put it up this way anyhow. Like I said, I'll buy an aftermarket one and put on there if I'm going to do any kind of long trip with it. Coming down. Nothing really going on over here. Honda stickers, you know, local sign shop, measure them up. They'll cut them out for you. Stock air filter, still in it. Like I said, nothing done motor-wise or ECU, nothing like that. I mean, these bikes, you have to get to where the point when you buy a 300L, you're buying it because that's the bike you want. If you want a bike with more power, buy the freaking 450L or a KTM or a gas or something. Don't buy a 300L and then dump $1,000 into it trying to get it to have more horsepower. I mean, this bike is perfectly fine stock. Like, it's going to do I'm 220 pounds with gear. This bike will do anything that I want to do or take anywhere I want to take it. It's going to go. I have a KTM 350. If I want to rip, I'll take that, because that's a bike made for ripping with the horsepower you need. So, I mean, there's no use dumping a bunch of money into these bikes just trying to get a couple extra horsepower, because they're going to do anything you want to do from stock. They're going to take you anywhere. So that's a little walk around here. Check it all out. If you have any questions on anything, you know the deal. Comment. Remember to hit that freaking like button. Even if you hate this freaking video and you hate this bike, you hate me, you hate the way I talk, hit the freaking like button and subscribe. Just hit subscribe. You don't have to hit the dinger so that you get a reminder every time. Just do it. Just hit it. One last thing. I am probably going to put a tall seat on here, seat concepts, because I feel a little squished being I'm 5'10" from seat to peg from my nuts down to the peg. So I will probably put a high seat on. Peace out. Thank you.